Hello friends, Kishan is here again and welcome you in this video tutorial. In previous video tutorial we have seen how to take connection from the database, right, using get connection method of driver manager. So we have seen all get connections overloaded method in driver manager. So first get connection, which takes three parameters: database URL, username and password. So separately we have passed three parameters and we got the connection, and same we have tested from the client program, right? We call this method by class name and we show connection was established successfully. Now second utility program or that is dbutil2, we have used second overloaded method, which takes first parameter dbURL and second parameter is the properties object. And in this properties object we have kept the user database URL and password, and that we have passed to this get connection and we got connection as well, right? And third, we have concatenated database URL, database username and password in single string, and that string we have passed to the get connection method, right? So here you can see how we have concatenated. So you need to keep in mind, so when you send request through the get method in web-based application, right, that then input parameter becomes the part of the database URL as a query parameter. So this database URL, there you are going to concatenated database URL, username and password in the same manner. So I have given the database URL then question mark, right, and after that we have given parameter name equals to parameter value and ampersand, right? That's the similar fashion we have a query parameter, right? Ampersand and then second parameter name and you assign the second value. So in that way we pass the entire things, database URL, username and password in single string, and we get the connection. And all these three steps, three way to connection, I have tested from the client program, right? So in this program what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this project and paste it over here, and I would give the name, project name JDBC connection using property resource, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to extract all database information from this utility class like these things, and I'll put into somewhere in the property file. So these three classes I'm going to delete. So this was from the previous demo, but now these things is throwing error because I have deleted the class. Now I'm going to use this method to take connection from the database, which takes database URL, username, password separately. So and most of the industry people use this method because this method is more readable, right? So people can read explicitly you are passing this parameter, so that is more readable. Now what I will do, I will extract these parameters and put it in somewhere in the configuration file, so property file. So in src folder I'm going to create a file. I would say any name you can give. I would give the database dot properties, right? And here database URL, sorry, driver name, db URL, and everything I'm going to move into this property file, right? And you can specify some key like db driver class name, driver underscore class underscore name, something like this, and separate with equal to sign. Now db underscore dot URL. So later you separate with a dot instead of underscore, so dot, right? Now db, you can say username equals to root and db password equal to root itself, right? So all four parameters I have kept in the property file. Now here you can this constant, you can assign this key itself, right? So db URL Now we can send DB URL, DB username, and DB password, right? This DB URL. Okay. Now we have to retrieve this value from the property file. Now here you have to write some code over here. So here there are many ways to retrieve this values from the property file, but I'm going to use one of the simplest way. So our system class is having a method is called something is called load. What is that method? I'm forgetting. Oh no, not system, but properties class. I was supposed to use properties class. Properties class is having a method. Okay, so we can create an instance of properties or top private properties. Now I'll make it static so that we can access in a static context. New property, and properties has a method is called something is called load, right? This takes input stream. So here you can pass input stream is an abstract class, so you can pass an instance of its subclass. So something is called input file input stream. You can take file input stream which takes file name. So that this file directly we have kept in the src folder, so you can pass this file name like database.properties, right? If you have kept somewhere else, then you need to specify. You can specify the complete path, or you can specify the relative path as well. So here we have loaded this property file, right? Now what we can do, we can call system class, property class, properties class has a method is called get property, which asks you to supply the key. So key we can supply here like DB URL. Now similarly you have a properties dot get property, and you can substitute this value. Okay, now so if you look into the get connection, then second parameter represents username, right? So here you'll have to write DB username, right? And finally you have to pass DB password. That's it. DB password. Okay, so almost we have done. Now let's go and test this class. Test this out. So we are getting this driver class name, right? So here what you will have to do in property file, driver class name, that is exactly the same. Okay. There is one I was supposed to substitute this as well, right? So this substitution I have left. So here also these things will need to retrieve from the property file itself, right? And okay, so now we are done. Now if I run this program, then still we are getting some problem, null pointer exception. Let me check out. Line number 20. Okay, this instantiation should happen before this line. Let's run it. Okay, still error. Oof. Loading of this property file also should happen before this line of code, right? Okay, now let's run it. Database.properties cannot specify, so I think there is some mistake in the file name itself. So, and what exactly is the file name? So let's better copy and paste it from here itself. Or this is not basically like picking from the src folder, so you can specify the relative path, right? So src and slash something like this, and if you run this program, now it's reading from the property file. So this way, if you want to move your all database property like driver name, username, database username, password and URL, everything in the somewhere in the property file, and from there in your utility program you can read, right? So one thing I would like to share here, this is not only way to read, I mean, database property from the property file. There are some other way also, but I found this way is very straightforward and easier. So that's the reason I wanted to share with you. So thanks for watching this video, and this code I'm going to upload on the GitHub, and see you in next video tutorial.